In the complex world of finance, we often look for sophisticated investment strategies, hidden market hacks, or complex budgeting systems. But the truth is, the single greatest barrier to your financial freedom isn't the economy or your salary. It's three simple words you repeat to yourself every single day. These words act as a mental stop sign, killing opportunity before it even has a chance to breathe. This hidden language is subconsciously dictating your net worth, placing artificial limitations on what you can achieve. We're going to uncover this toxic verbal habit, explore the psychology behind its debilitating power, and crucially, reveal the transformative phrase that the world's most successful individuals, the billionaires, use constantly to unlock endless possibility and turn challenges into pathways for wealth creation. Prepare to fundamentally change the way you talk to yourself about money. Let's cut directly to the core problem. The three words that are consistently keeping people poor are "I can't afford it." Think about that phrase. It is definitive. It's an absolute statement of permanent fact, freezing your financial brain in a state of limitation. When you declare "I can't afford it," you are signaling to your mind that the discussion is over, the door is closed, and no further creative problem solving is necessary. It's a mechanism of avoidance. It allows you to retreat from the discomfort of financial scarcity by accepting it as an immutable reality. This habit prevents you from ever engaging the powerful part of your brain designed for innovation, finding solutions, and creating paths forward, trapping you firmly within your current income bracket and status quo. The psychology here is devastating because the brain, being highly efficient, loves statements of fact. When you state, "I can't afford it," your subconscious immediately ceases exploration. It reinforces the identity of someone who is financially limited, rather than someone who is temporarily restricted. This fixed mindset leads to self-sabotage. You stop looking for the high-value client, you dismiss the necessary professional development course, and you avoid the strategic investment that could double your income next year. This simple declaration transforms desire into defeat. It's a learned helplessness applied to finance, fundamentally training your neural pathways to accept poverty as your destiny, simply because it offers temporary emotional relief from the challenging work of earning more or managing better.
Now, let's pivot to the mindset of the financially elite. When billionaires encounter a high price tag, whether for a complex business acquisition or a strategic asset, they do not default to limitation. They substitute "I can't afford it" with a single, powerful four-word question: how can I afford it? This subtle shift is a cataclysmic change in mental framework. By replacing a statement with a question, you instantly turn an obstacle into a puzzle. The brain, particularly the reticular activating system, is now tasked with finding answers. Instead of stopping, your mind begins to scan for solutions, leverage, negotiation tactics, value propositions, potential partners, or income generation methods. This shift doesn't require more money immediately. It requires intellectual creativity and a deep commitment to problem solving.
The first daily habit is to apply this reframing immediately, every time financial doubt arises. This is not about magically affording everything, it's about demanding creative answers. When you consider a high-ticket item, maybe a powerful new piece of equipment for your side hustle, instead of dismissing it, your immediate internal dialogue must be, how can I restructure my existing budget to accommodate this essential investment? Or, how much income must this tool generate to pay for itself within 90 days? This practice transforms spending from an expense into a strategic investment challenge. It forces you to look at assets in terms of ROI, return on investment, rather than just current cash outflow, moving you out of consumer mode and into investor mode. Consider a case study. You need a specialized certification course costing $2,000 that could increase your consulting rate by 50%. The poor mindset says, "I can't afford that $2,000 now." The billionaire mindset asks, if I increase my rate by $50 per hour, how many hours does it take to recoup the $2,000? And what are the long-term earnings? The answer often reveals that the course is a negative cost over time, an essential catalyst for exponential growth. This mental calculus is critical. The successful view money as seeds to be planted, not water to be hoarded.
The how question unlocks financing options, opportunities for barter, or strategic income streams specifically targeted to acquire that valuable asset. The focus is always forward-looking.
At its heart, the "I can't afford it" sentence is the linguistic anchor of the scarcity mindset. It is rooted in fear that resources are finite and that acquisition by others diminishes your own potential. This fear dictates that safety lies in hoarding and stagnation. Conversely, "how can I afford it" is the language of the abundance mindset, which recognizes that wealth is not a static quantity, but a constantly flowing current. Abundance sees problems as invitations for innovation and recognizes that money is infinitely available to those who solve high-value problems. By shifting your language, you physically disconnect from the paralyzing fear of scarcity and align yourself with the expansive, creative energy that defines all major wealth builders and successful entrepreneurs throughout history.
Phase 2 of the billionaire shift involves recognizing the true cost of things, which is often measured in time, not currency. Billionaires understand that their time is their most precious, non-renewable asset. They rarely ask, "Can I afford this $500 monthly service?" but rather, "Will this $500 service save me 10 hours of my time? And what is the dollar value of that 10 hours if I spent it earning revenue?" If their earning potential is $1,000 per hour, spending $500 to save 10 hours is an absolute necessity because it yields $9,500 in net positive revenue. The ability to calculate opportunity cost, the value of the next best alternative you give up, is paramount. Stop focusing on the numerical cost and start focusing on the leverage and efficiency gained.
This insight leads to the second critical daily habit, actively calculating time leverage. Think about a low-value task you despise, perhaps grocery shopping and meal prepping, which takes 4 hours weekly. If you outsource that for $100, the poor mindset sees a $100 expenditure. The billionaire mindset asks, "How can I use those 4 freed-up hours to acquire a new skill, pitch a high-paying client, or develop intellectual property that generates passive income?" This discipline of evaluating time against money allows you to strategically purchase back your life and focus solely on high-leverage activities, the ones that compound your net worth. You're not buying services, you're buying exponential future results. The "how can I afford it" principle must then be scaled up to your biggest life goals. It's easy to apply to a new laptop, but what about affording that first piece of real estate, launching a complicated startup, or funding a multi-year passion project? When confronting $1 million goal, the initial instinct is overwhelming. I certainly can't afford that. But the wealthy use the question to break down complexity. "How can I afford it" transforms into a series of strategic steps. Who do I need to partner with? What specific capital structure is required? What incremental milestones must I hit to secure the funding? It forces you into the realm of strategic planning, debt management, and sophisticated financial modeling, making the impossible achievable one question at a time. Implementation requires discipline. To make this shift permanent, keep the new question physically visible. Write "How can I afford it" on a note card and place it next to your credit card or on your desktop monitor. This is a behavioral cue to override decades of limiting language. Every time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't," stop, breathe, and consciously substitute the creative question. This isn't just wordplay, it's active brain restructuring. Consistency is key. This habit needs to be maintained daily for months until the positive, solution-oriented question becomes your default setting. This discipline compounds, and soon you will find yourself generating financial solutions in moments where you previously only saw dead ends. Your mental habits become your greatest financial asset. The difference between staying poor and achieving genuine wealth is often just 3 words, and the willingness to swap a statement of resignation for a question of activation. Stop telling yourself what you cannot do, and start demanding that your mind find the way forward. Embrace the challenge, trust your capability for innovation, and watch how quickly the financial world begins to align with your newly abundant language. The moment you replace "I can't afford it" with "How can I afford it" is the moment you step onto the path of true wealth creation. Start today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Let us know in the comments below. What high-value item are you now asking, "How can I